Ma'am, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Right off the bat, the stakes are serious. Assault with bodily injury isn't just a slap on the wrist. It carries real jail time. Quick question for you. If you were in her shoes, would you take a deal to avoid a conviction or risk going to trial?
You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you a deferred adjudication. This is a great deal.
This is called deferred adjudication. Basically, the judge presses pause on the conviction. Mess up, and the hammer comes down. Succeed, and your record stays clean. It's like probation with the stakes cranked way up.
You know, if you can complete it successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record, which is really important, you know. But you need to understand that you give up nearly every right known to man by entering into this agreement. And if you complete it successfully, like I said, you don't end up with a conviction. But if you do something to violate this agreement, we issue a warrant for your arrest. Shh. We put you in custody, bring you back out, determine if you violated it. And if you did, you're looking at an entire year in jail. You understand? To complete it successfully, you must do a thinking for a change. You must also do an anger management class. You must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess further conditions, you must fulfill them. No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with the Derek Michael Waters and Miss Mendoza. Do you understand? Like I said, if you violate this, we issue a warrant for your arrest, and then you're looking at a lot of time in jail. I'll make you a deal. If you do well, you get all your classes done. If you're nice to everybody, we can perhaps take you off in half the time. You could be done in 6 months if you get everything done quick, and most of all, be nice to everybody. Which thinking for a change did you want?
19 years old. Wow, that's incredibly young to already be facing criminal consequences. It makes you wonder, should the system lean more on punishment or rehabilitation at this age?
Sort of a standard one, if that's all the three reports that's being for a change, whatever the standard course is.
So I guess just do the smaller one. Yeah. All right. It's a big deal because there's the long thinking for change, which is 4 months, and then there's the smaller one. So we're not asking much. You also understand there's no weapons, and you cannot consume alcohol or illegal drugs as well.
This was.
How old are you, man?
How old are you, Judge?
How old are you,
How
man?
old are you?
19.
19.
Did you graduate from high school? Did you graduate from high school? Okay.
No, sir, and yes, sir, to the judge.
So what are you going to do with yourself? What are you
Ma'am,
going to do with yourself? Shh. You're 19.
Notice how the judge shifts gears here. This isn't just about the law, it's life advice. Judges often double as reluctant mentors in these moments, especially when they see someone young teetering on the edge of a rough future.
You didn't graduate from high school. Where are you going?
I'm trying to go for it. I've been working right now. I'm in the motion of getting my GED.
I'd like to make that a condition as well. Please. Guys, if you're okay with that.
Yes, Judge, we're okay with that.
That's probably one of the most important things here. You cannot go through life without having your GED. You will make pennies to when anybody else is making $1. It's a proven fact. You have to have at least a high school education. You have to know something in this life. Knowledge is power. Don't rely on a man. That man may never be there in the future for you. And if you don't have a skill, if you don't have a trade, if you don't have a career, you'll be penniless, and life sucks without money. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what I'm going to do is within 3 weeks, we want to see that she's signed up for a GED class. I'd like to keep it here, or I'd like to keep it close so that we can seriously monitor her. I'm going to monitor you myself because I want to make sure that you're at least getting your GED.
Yes,
It's
sir.
extremely important. Do you understand, Miss Torres?
Yes, sir.
I will waive all your costs for everything that I can. It's never about money. It's about you doing what you say you're going to do and staying out of trouble. You're giving up the right to a trial. right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, once you are in with us, you're signing a contract with us. And I'm going to tell you now, I will hold you to this until you get your GED. And if you start playing with us, you start toying with us, we can amend it, put you in, take you back out until you take us seriously. No dope, no alcohol, get your GED. Do you have any questions? If you ever have a question, if you ever have an issue, all you have to do is tell us. And here, you have to be able to talk with us, tell us what's going on if there's ever a problem. If you just take off and you blow us off, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. You will end up going to jail. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to hold you to this until, at a minimum, you get your GED. You understand? How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty?
Sorry?
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'm not going to find you guilty. I will withhold that for a year. Get it done. Make us proud. Good luck, man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Gill.
Yes, sir.
We were just going to do this plea a couple weeks ago, and Your Honor,
You don't
PTI.
have to say anything else. If
Okay.
it just doesn't work, it just doesn't work. I mean, you know, Miss Rochelle, you're old enough to understand that actions have consequences. And then when you do this, this is a lifetime action, you know? You cannot come back in this future and say, you know what, I changed my mind. I've got buyer's remorse. I want to return it like I want to go to Target. You know, once you plead guilty, that's it. Goes on your record. And there are consequences. You get pulled over, an officer's going to see this. You have the smell of alcohol, you got the smell of dope. What's going to happen? You have to be conscious. And what we're doing today, the proverbial slap on the wrist, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
And there it is, the guilty verdict. Only 3 days, but don't be fooled. The judge is warning her. Next time, the penalties won't be this light. Do you think short jail stints actually work as a wake-up call? Or are they just a revolving door?
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine accusers, the right to be arraigned, charged, read in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeals, is what I was saying, that once you plead guilty, there's no turning back. Do you understand? Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty? You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. But like I'm telling you, this can be used to enhance punishment in the future. From now on, you will be looking at a second DWI if you pick one up. And from now on, it's up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine, not to mention a minimum of 30 days. Do you understand? All right. How did you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty, and I'm going to sentence you to the 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 1 day that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days, ma'am. Do not drive until you get a license. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is DWI is extremely big business in the state of Texas. And when you pick up a DWI, there are surcharges in the amount of around $3,000. If you have a .15 or above, it's $4,500 that you owe. And if you don't pay it, you don't get a license until you do. Do you understand? On a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge, not to mention court costs. So you pick up a second DWI, you could be looking at around $7,000 in fines and fees when you walk out of here. So what I'm trying to tell you is one button on a phone.
That's the theme of this entire hearing. Choices have consequences. The judge is practically pleading with her to pause and reflect before making another life-altering mistake. A powerful ending message.
One button, wherever you want to go. They'll take you wherever. You understand? Where do we go from here? As far as surcharges and,
Michelle's currently not working. She just got evicted from her apartment actually, and we're moving back to Arkansas, back home. So we have to have surcharges with the judge.
are you working?
No, I recently lost my vehicle, so I'm not able to get to work, which is why I recently got evicted, which is why I can't do the PTI, because I have to move back. Got the letter.
Are your folks around? Okay, go back. Go back. There's nothing wrong. You know, when I graduated law school, I was what, 30s? I went back to my folks. I lived with my folks until I saved money, a ton of money, and I was to be able to get something else. There's nothing wrong with it. Go back, get on your feet, and be the best person you can. But that's what it's about. You know, there's nothing wrong with going back to live at your house. Really. I did it, and we all do it, you know? All right, I'll waive your surcharges. I'll waive the court costs.
The judge.
You're not going to go anything when you roll out here. The only thing that we ask of you is think before you act. Think before you speak. Because God forbid you make some kind of mistake that's so catastrophic that you can't go back to mom and dad. All right? Good luck.
Hey, Judge.
How are you? What's new?
Not much. I'm just trying to get through this week because I am going on a trip next week.
Nice. Where are you going?
We're going to France, Iceland, and Denmark.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Wow. Are you going 2 weeks or what?
Yeah, it's like a 10-day trip. So
That's so great.
my mom got on this kick where she's like, I've never traveled and I'm going to die. And I'm like, you're not even 16.
Have you considered or looked into like tour guides or anything?
Yeah, so we have a 2-day tour booked in Iceland.
No.
Oh.
So you got to look at Rick Steves. Do you know who that is? Okay. Rick Steves is a guy that's got a show on PBS, and it's so great because this guy has a travel book, and he tells you if you have a certain number of days and you're going to a certain number of location, he'll tell you what to do,
I love that.
where to go. He'll tell you how to get tickets in advance.
I
so
definitely
that-
need to look into that because I was their travel agent.
But here's even the better thing is like, I'll give you an example. When I went to Rome with my wife on our honeymoon, he has a guidebook, and he also has on iTunes podcasts and virtual tour guides that you download to your phone. So when you go to like the Sistine Chapel,
Yeah.
you walk in and you turn it on and you go, okay, he'll go, okay, walk 5 paces, look up, and this is a fresco that was painted by Michelangelo, and this was the date, and this was the thinking at the time.
Going through like their little
Right.
thing.
It's so
Probably
great.
way better and more.
And dude, I'll give you another example. Like when you go in Venice, they have the Grand Canal where you get on one vaporetto, you go through the entire thing. Like you turn on one of the virtual tours and he'll go, okay, so as soon as you get on the boat and the boat starts moving in 2 minutes, press play. So you press play. All right, the boat's moving. Look to your right. There's the Guggenheim Museum. This is what was done there. So look into
Name
his,
again?
Rick Steves.
Rick Steves. Okay.
He's got it for all over the world. It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna download that.
When we go anywhere, which is not lately, because
Yeah.
we take Rick Steves with us everywhere. It's like a Bible. It's
Yeah,
so-
that's awesome. That's good to know. I've
Take a
never
look.
heard of him. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the
Because
recommendation.
when you go and when you know what you're looking at, it's
Yeah.
just so much more
Oh
memorable.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
I like to know because usually I've Pinterest everything and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go see this thing. And my
Right.
parents are like, cool, it's another building.
is when I did it, it was free. I don't know if it is now.
I'm sure it's not too expensive. If it is.
No, it's anyways. Who are you here on?
Terrence Bruget.
Okay. Okay, it's getting up there.
So we have a motion to withdraw on your queue on it for lack of payment. He is here today though.
Come up, Terrence. It's old though, man. You know,
I understand.